Good morning, everyone. Since this is like sports camp, clap one time if you can hear me. Clap two times if you can hear me. Clap three times if you can hear me. Wow. I used to be a camp director, so this is fun. Good morning. My name is LeBron Kawhi George. Does that count as tampering? I hope not. Actually, good morning. My name is Otis Hackney. I'm the Chief Education Officer for the City of Philadelphia. Thank you and welcome. I've been looking forward to this day since last October when we first announced the Philadelphia Task Force on Sports-Based Youth Development. As you know, the task force mission was to issue a report that analyzes the state of youth sports, physical activity, and positive development of Philadelphia's youth, and make public policy recommendations on how to build a citywide system supporting sports-based youth development initiatives. It turned out to be much more than that. We have 240,000 school-age children in the city who could all benefit from sports programs that promote social change. It is well known that sports-based youth development programs have the potential to achieve better outcomes than other non-sports-based programs. We believe, based on the research, that if all of us can work together, these programs can help our children get better grades, be healthier, make better choices, and reduce violent behavior. National data indicates that sports-based youth development programs reduce youth violence, promote health, and inspire academic success. These programs also help young people with social skills and risk reduction. You want youth sports to be a great experience for all communities across our city and for all kids. Did you know since 2008, youth sports participation across the United States has significantly dropped? In that time, nearly 3 million fewer children have played basketball, soccer, track and field, baseball, football, and softball. This is worrisome because sports are so important to development, including helping children improve their health and perform better in school. Sports can help develop child development along with in many positive ways. The American Academy of Pediatrics says every child and adolescent should have an opportunity to participate in sports and regular physical activity. Sports also can assist in motivating a child towards self-improvement in healthy, productive ways, which can be especially helpful for youth in many of our underserved neighborhoods. The Mayor's Office of Education, which we head up based on the initiatives of our mayor, along with Dr. Height and the entire school district of Philadelphia, we are committed to getting behind these recommendations as well. At many of our community schools, partnerships are already increasing student activity and access to facilities across the city. Our schools will play an enormous role in the success of this campaign. We are fully behind giving our children not just more access, but equal access. The development of partnerships and collaborations that will increase over that time as well. And we will also make sure that the recommendations for long-term funding streams are ensured for equal access. The recommendations in this report that you will hear about today are not just about developing better athletes. If we're successful, the campaign is going to help us find ways to use sports and develop better young people, and with the potential of giving total and equal access to thousands of children. The results could have far-reaching positive effects on our city. School-based youth development programs, out-of-school time, and programs like out-of-school time that use a particular sport to help learning and life skill development in youth are not new to Philadelphia. However, we are working to find ways to increase the reach and scope of these types of programs in new spaces, including our community schools as well. As I said, I'm excited to be part of this incredibly important initiative to create positive social change. I now will want to introduce the leadoff hitter for today, and talking about the leader of this work is Beth Devine. She is the Executive Director of the Philadelphia Youth Sports Collaborative and is a driving force behind building a successful system to provide sports-based youth development to all, and I mean all of Philadelphia's children. Beth?
I was never a leadoff hitter because I'm too slow. The baseball people will get that. I was the last of 7 children, and growing up, I was a little shy and somewhat bookish. And I got picked on at school, And the only place I felt at home was on a playing field. It was where I got my feet underneath me and where I became the person that I am today. And I can honestly say that sports did that for me. Being part of a team was the most important thing in my world because I always knew that no matter what was going on at school or, I got picked on by my older brothers, that my team had my back. And that was so important as a young athlete. About 10 years ago, I was asked to run a basketball clinic by a gentleman by the name of Jim Kenny. If I only knew he was going to be the mayor. In South Philly. And when we did that, I was kind of surprised that 200 young ladies came in, 50 parents came in to learn how to be coaches, and we did that with the 6 women's basketball teams here in Philadelphia. It was an amazing day. And the one thing that the parents asked over and over at the end of that clinic was, what's next? When do we get to play again? When do these kids get to come out and do this again? And I kind of turned around to Jim and everybody and said, well, what are they talking about? There's no leagues down here? There's no programs down here? And the answer was no, there's really not. And all I had ever seen since I was a kid was opportunity. I had an opportunity to play at my park, at my school. I showed up at the pool and was on a swim team. But I dug in a little bit and quickly learned that the exact opposite was happening here in Philadelphia and that kids weren't getting an equal opportunity to play. And in that moment, I became a crusader. Here we are 10 years later, and I'm honored to be standing here in front of you with a plan that will make sure that all youth have equal opportunity to play. And we want them to have equal, affordable access to quality sports-based youth development program. That doesn't mean a league on every corner. That means quality programming, where we see a lot of our members in here today who provide that. You were given an overview of a plan of the executive summary that was given out today, and the full report can be viewed online at gameonphilly.com. But the task force was designed to lay out a process and a foundation by which we could build a citywide, world-class system that will become the nation's leader in the delivery of sports-based youth development programming. There's some great models out there that we've been taking a look at. Our friends at the LA 84 Foundation and LA Unified School District run a great program called Beyond the Bell that impacts over 20,000 students a year. We have the Sport for Good Cities run by our friends at the Laureus Foundation that are doing a great job, and we're learning a lot about what we can take from those examples and adapt to Philadelphia. What you'll see in the summary that you have today is that we commit to expanding access to sports-based youth development programs for all of our city's children. Yes, all. And we are going to do this through schools, rec centers, other host facilities like PAL and YMCA. We'll use various providers, both sports-based and otherwise, and we will engage new people in the effort. We also commit to do this in meaningful, measurable, and professional ways by focusing on training, outcome measurement, and research, the things that provide the level of quality that we are committed to, so that the sports that the kids play have the power to change their lives. The pilot programs that we're fleshing out for the first year have the potential to add over 2,000 new opportunities for our young people to play in quality programs. We aim to engage and train 250 coaches so that programs are run at a level of quality that makes a true impact for the kids. That's our year 1 plan. And PYSC commits to being the backbone organization that drives this effort. And so you might ask, what makes us the right organization to do this work? Interestingly, in our short history, long history, but short kind of relaunched history, we felt at one point that Philadelphia Youth Sports Collaborative was a bit of a mouthful. And we actually thought about rebranding that. But we came to understand that every single word in that name is important, with collaborative really being what defines us. And so we kept that name, and we understand that one of our organizational goals is to build a system. And when we put out a call for collaborators and partners, boy, did they answer that call. Look around this room. I still can't, I can't even focus on one face because there's too many. So thank you. It's amazing. So we're happy to be the proverbial point guard in this effort. And because as an organization, that's what we're committed to do, is to work with these partners and build that system. That said, I stand here honored, not obligated, but honored, to thank our collaborators. When I was young and playing sports and in college and playing sports, I always used to look at the lineups. That was something I always did because I was always seeing whether we had a shot. Because sometimes you'd see somebody on the lineup and be like, oh boy, Dawn Staley comes to mind. She was not in my lineup, unfortunately, both times. 64-point loss. That one sticks with you. Yep. So I got to say that I really like our lineup. I really, really like our lineup. So I'm going to go through them real quick and just give a shout out. First of all, let's look at our member organizations. We are now 32 strong. We have 32 organizations. Let's give them a hand. I mean, you see these kids in the room, you see these people that are dedicated to making sure kids have equal access and who can play in quality programs. We will continue to learn from you as we build this system, and we will continue to support you in every way we can. And that support starts with somebody that I'd really like to thank, Jesse Dean, our membership coordinator. Thank you. All right, now hold the applause or we're never going to get through the lineup. The city administration, Mayor Kenny, Mike D., I'll get to you, Otis. This administration has shown unwavering commitment to our youth through programs like Read by Fourth, Universal Pre-K, Rebuild, and the Workforce Development Program. Thank you for constantly finding ways to support and make a difference for our kids. The School District of Philadelphia, Dr. Height and his team in athletics and physical activity and health, Betty Ann, Jimmy, will be leaders as they work with us to be sure that all schools are a hub for sports-based youth development activities. The Mayor's Office of Education, Otis Hackney and his community schools team, plus Christine Piven and the Citywide Out-of-School Time Initiative, we are so lucky to be here in a time where we can align our work with theirs. Parks and Recreation, thanks to Catherine Ott Lovell and her team, Bill, who gets a phone call probably every other day from me, and that team has been really open. They do what they do. They provide youth sport, but they've been really open to finding ways to do more, and that's been a really great partnership that we're looking to explore even further. The Department of Health and DHS. About your generosity. Becky has been amazing. I mean, an amazing group of people. We thank you. Whose vision and commitment has taken the Philadelphia sports-based youth development sector to a new level, and who also made PYSC possible. And finally, to our board and the PYSC team. With the Horner's leadership, PYSC has built a board of quality, strategic members who are wholly committed to this work. And they do a pretty good job of reining me in, asking the tough questions so that we can make sure that our work is done at a standard that's expected by us. So what an incredible team, and I'd like to ask you to give that team some thanks. Now you can clap. So here's what I think is really cool. We're really just getting started. We spent the last 9 months talking and idea sharing, finding out how to align and creating plans and pilot programs. And the awesomeness of all this lies ahead when we put words to action and impact thousands of kids through the power of sport. I had the pleasure of interviewing Monet Davis for this effort from the Anderson Monarchs, and she said something that really stuck with me, so I'm going to kind of draw to a close with this. I asked her a little bit about why the Monarchs were so important to her and why being an athlete was so important to her. And she said, well, you know, sports gives kids a healthy lifestyle, But her team is her second family, and she said, and I quote, "I can always depend on them no matter what the situation is. They will always have my back." And that's what I felt as a young athlete. I'm sure everybody in this room can think of an instance where you can think about a teammate or a coach who had your back. And that's really the magic here. So I'll say this in closing. To all the kids in the room, your organizations and us, we have your back. To all the organizations in this room who are doing this amazing work with all these youth, I mean, at a short count, we're impacting tens of thousands of lives. To those organizations, PYSC will always have your back. To our lineup, PYSC has your back. To the funders in this room, well, we're going to ask that you have our backs. So I'd like to say, let's work together to use one of the best tools on earth to support thousands of kids. Game on, Philly. Swoop's in the house. Franklin's in the house. And Mayor Jim Kenney's in the house, and he needs no introduction. Here we go.
Thank you and good morning to everyone. And I have always given prepared remarks by my staff, but I'm going to put them aside and talk about what I think is the most important thing that our administration has been doing in every level. And it's about equity. It's about financial equity. It's about educational equity. It's about recreational equity. It's about racial and ethnic equity. It's about gender equity. And we've taken a long time since we've invested in our kids, the way we're beginning to invest in our kids again. I have a friend of mine who coaches Little League football and coaches in the inner city. And one year he scheduled all of his games away because he was so embarrassed by the field that they had to play on, that the swirling dust and these teams would come in from the suburbs, and he was just embarrassed. So he'd take his kids out to the suburbs where they had manicured fields and locker rooms and showers, and the kids were like they thought they went to Disneyland, Disney World. We need to do that. We need to have equal opportunities for our kids in every level. And why that's important, and all the people that were mentioned already were all thanked, all the wonderful people that are sitting up here and the people in the audience. But if we can give our kids the opportunity to meet their potential in every way possible, and it's not just sports, it's educational opportunities, it's cultural opportunities, but right now we're here talking about sports. And Beth talked about the camp that we had started down in South Philly, 200 young women. And I think Title IX was probably one of the most, if not the most important pieces of federal legislation that ever came out of Washington, because it equalized the funding for young women to go to college on their athletic abilities. And out of that program, many of our young women went on to play high-level basketball at a high national level. And there's about 12 or 13 of them right now just out of that program that are in Division I schools, 4-year full scholarships, young ladies who, when I first met, could not look me in the eye and speak to me, or had really serious issues at home, no food at home, things of that nature. And you learn when you're around these young people how wonderful they are, but what obstacles they have to go through in order to just keep up with everybody. And when I see those young ladies today, when I go to a game that they're playing, if they're playing Drexel or they're playing somebody local, or we'll take a road trip every now and then and go see them play. One is a National Merit Scholar. Another one is JMU. They're at St. John. They're at Georgia Tech. They're at University of Texas. I mean, it's unbelievable places that these young people have gone that they never would have had a chance to go to. And that's what this is all about. This is about putting kids together in positive situations where they're not distracted by the negativity that's around them. They have a safe space to be with people who are adults who are positive, and they have friends that they're going to make and they're going to keep for life. Because anyone that's ever played sports at any level, you always keep up with your teammates that you played with. And that's going to give them the safety and security and kind of stable life to move forward and to start to meet that potential. This is a wonderful thing we're all doing. It is a community effort. I've never seen, since I've been mayor, a room this full of people for a press conference. So that's really wonderful. And I do want to, I do really want to thank all of our professional sports franchises, all of you. There's never a time when you're asked to help with something that you refuse. And you do so pleasantly, you do so enthusiastically, and it's not a chore. It's something that's in your DNA. And that is one of the many things that make living in Philadelphia, being mayor of Philadelphia, that much more wonderful. So I just want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to encourage the children to reach out to some of your friends and make sure you get those folks involved. You'll be a better student for it. You'll be a happier person. You'll be a healthier person. And we just want to see you. We love you, and we want to see you meet your potential. So thanks for being here. Thanks.
Don't worry, I'm not going to talk again. Actually, I have the pleasure of introducing Josh and Marjorie Harris. The task force came together with the support of the Harris Family Charitable Foundation. And while we in the city of Philadelphia might know Josh's name because he's, an owner of the Sixers, what I've come to know and what the sports-based youth development community has come to know is that his family has made a tremendous commitment to this type of work. And for that reason, the task force happened. And now we get to go out and put this great plan in progress, thanks to being able to pull it together with the support of the Harris Foundation. So I'd like to introduce Josh and his family.
Thank you, Beth. I'd like to start by saying I think you're more of a wing creator. You kind of you shoot threes, you create for other people, and you play defense. So I think, a point guard, I don't know, and then we have the coach over there, Mayor Kennedy. So I'd like to thank both of you for getting this team started and getting us in a winning direction. Thank you very much. Before I turn this over to the boss and the real brains of our foundation and the vision of our foundation, my wife, my lovely wife of 23 years, Marjorie, I'd just like to say a few words. Sports affects all of us differently. Like, speaking for myself, I was an undersized kid and I became a wrestler. And in wrestling, you learn quickly that you learn quickly that discipline and working hard and eating well and training, matters. And if you don't do it, you get physically dominated on the mat. And so you do it pretty quickly if you're going to be any good. And ultimately, I went on to wrestle at Penn in Division I. But I think that, the sports taught me about life. And once I started applying those skills to my schoolwork, which had been very poor up until then, I did well in school and ultimately was able to lead a better life. And so I think that, from our point of view, we think that, giving everyone the opportunity that I had and that we had in the city to experience sports in a positive way, in a quality way, is incredibly important. And what it'll lead to is, lots of success stories, both on the court, on the field, on the pitch, and maybe off the court, more importantly, in education and in various business and other places. And so, that's the first thing. The second thing is that both Marjorie and I believe that we've been blessed, and we're just grateful to be able to play a small part, in making this happen for this city. Like my mom, sitting over there, it's her 80th birthday, so she's on her way up to New York. Sylvia. But, literally, her father came to this country in the early 20th century, and we had nothing. He was a postal worker. And, she was the first in her family to go to college at Temple. She met my father, who was at Penn, and, the reality is that this city gave to us and this country gave to us, and we're just happy to be able to give back, to this city and to this country in a small way and empower, people like Beth and her staff and the mayor and help out. So anyway, turn it over to my lovely wife, Marjorie. Thank you.
Hi, Marjorie, and thank you, Josh. And don't let him fool you. I've learned a tremendous amount from my husband, and everything he seems to do, he gives 150% to, and that's why it is the success that it is. And I don't think we ever knew when we decided 7 years ago to buy the Philadelphia 76ers that we weren't just buying a basketball team, we were buying an obligation to give back to the community and give back to the people of this city, and that's what we are trying to do.
And also win an NBA championship at some point.
Yeah. So be patient. I've been married to him for 23 years, and trust me, when he wants something, he gets it. It's really an honor and a privilege to be here today and to be part of a collaborative effort to help this city full of children, use the power of sports to make their lives better. This is a cornerstone and the founding principles of the Harris Family Foundation that my husband and I established 5 years ago. Working together with the City of Philadelphia Mayor Kenny Beth Devine and the Philadelphia Sports Youth Collaborative, as well as many other talented and caring individuals, I know together we will successfully deliver the very needed quality sports development programs that will make the children of Philadelphia healthy and empowered to do whatever it is they choose to do. I'm very proud of the work the task force has done to enable more children in Philadelphia to gain access to sports programming, especially given that much of the city's youth are at risk of being unhealthy, undereducated, and lacking in equitable access to needed resources. 37% of our youth live in poverty. Less than 70% graduate on time from high school, and over 20% are considered obese. We all know how terribly important it is to provide youth with a place to go, something to be excited about, and given the tools to learn what it is to do good things for themselves. As the mother of 5 children, I know how important it is to teach them. We take for granted as adults what they do not know, and that's a lot. And it is our obligation to help and teach all the children of our community, every one of them, those that have, those that don't have. And sports is a proven tool for helping children be successful in their lives. Now, I played sports as a kid, but I will tell you, I was not a very good and accomplished athlete. But it wasn't what I became as an athlete, it was what it taught me to do. It taught me that if I throw the ball enough times, I will get better at it. And that is the simple characteristics of what it is to be a successful person and to have dreams and goals and be able to accomplish them. Through our foundation, we connect over 100,000 students annually through some very amazing organizations, some of whom are here today. First, the Police Athletic League. Also, After School All-Stars and America Scores. These organizations provide youth in underserved neighborhoods with programs and coaches that help them become healthier, perform better in school, learn important life skills.
By the way, shout out to Betty Zhang over there who's helped us put all that together. Thank you, Betty.
Thanks, Betty. I'm also very excited to be able to use the results of the task force in my position as a board member of the Sixers Youth Foundation. The report being announced today was produced by the hard work of many different members of this community. As was said before, the mayor's office, school districts, nonprofits, volunteers, sports teams, university, health systems, and local businesses, all of whom came together to positively shape our future generation. This remarkable group effort serves as another testament to what an incredible community Philadelphia is. I congratulate the task force on a job well done in creating an important call to action and recognizing we all need to play a role. Josh and I are excited to be here today, and we are confident that together with all of you, we will successfully improve the lives of thousands of children by empowering them with the tools to live a healthy and fulfilling life. Thank you.
Thank you both so much. Happy birthday. Seems 80's the new 50, I think. I have the pleasure now of introducing two people. You know, it's one thing to stand up here and talk about this work and what it does for our youth. It's another to hear what a coach and a student can say it brought to their lives. So I'd like to introduce our friends from Girls on the Run. Come on up. We have Judeli Sanchez and her teacher, Ariel Evans, who are going to be amazing. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ariel Evans, and I am a second grade teacher and Girls on the Run coach at Potter Thomas Promise Academy. Potter Thomas is a high-needs K-8 school in Fairhill. All of our students receive free breakfast and free lunch, and many of our students face huge challenges both in and outside of the classroom. They must overcome the daily obstacles of life that include neighborhood violence, trauma, and poverty. School is truly their safe haven. Sports-based youth development programs are part of this safe haven. Sports-based youth development programs facilitate learning and life skill development in youth. It is an honor to be here today to reiterate the importance of these programs, specifically Girls on the Run, and the impact such programs have on our city's youth. I first learned about Girls on the Run from my principal. After doing some research, I quickly realized that I wanted to become a running coach because I saw that this was something that could make a lasting impact on the girls at Potter Thomas. The vision of Girls on the Run aligns with my beliefs and core values as an educator. This program has an experience-based curriculum that empowers girls to embrace who they are, define who they want to be, and rise up to any challenges and convince them that one day they will change the world. Girls on the Run's middle school curriculum is rich with topics that girls so desperately need to discuss. They address the whole girl, the body, the brain, the heart, the spirit, and social connections. This curriculum helps girls build important life skills such as team building, develop a support system, healthy food choices, boundary setting, decision making, asking for and providing help, and so much more. Girls on the Run teams meet after school twice a week for about 90 minutes. The first portion of the practice, we follow lesson plans and participate in fun learning exercises. During the second portion, we teach the girls how to run. When we first started the season, it was very challenging to get the girls to buy in, and some of the girls did not get along at all. When we sat down and we talked about some of the different reasons that they had joined, the girls quickly learned that they actually had a lot in common after all. All of the girls joined the team for one reason or another, whether it was that they didn't want to go home after school or they just had nothing to do. They always looked forward to getting a snack after school to eat as well. And they were thrilled to get their own water bottles, which they started to bring to class with them every single day. It was amazing to watch these girls grow both physically, mentally, and emotionally over just a few months. If you had asked me after the first week if I thought that they were going to successfully complete the 5K at the end of the season, I would have said, absolutely not, no way. At the beginning of our program, they were unable to run for even 5 minutes. And because we were running outside in the schoolyard, there were a lot of external distractions from the neighborhood. As the weeks progressed, the girls became a lot more confident about themselves, and they loved the lessons and all of the activities that were included. One of our sixth grade students, Melissa, became in charge of running all of our different stretching and exercise warm-ups in the beginning of the practices and took on that role. On the day of the end of the season race, even though the coaches and I had explained what a 5K was, the girls still really had no idea what to expect. A few of the girls had never traveled out of their neighborhood before, and when we arrived at the Navy Yard, they were so excited and fascinated with everything that they saw. There was so much positive energy in the air. People were cheering, loud music was playing. There was a sea of blue shirts with all of these girls that were just ready to run the 5K. As they approached the starting line, they were very, very anxious. Fortunately, Girls on the Run has these wonderful adult running volunteers that are partnered up with all of the girls, and it helps keep them calm and keep them focused on the race so that they can complete it and they can just stay positive throughout the whole thing. Overall, the girls did a really amazing job running the 5K. I still get tears in my eyes when I think about the moment when they crossed the finish line and they received their medals. This was the proudest moment that I've had as an educator. Being able to capture the joy and the happiness that they had in their eyes was priceless. After the race, all they kept saying was, "Miss, this was the best day of my life. Miss, when's the next race?" We hadn't even gotten on the bus and they're already talking about next season. For one of our girls in particular, Judelli, this accomplishment was incredibly special. About 2 years ago, Judelli was shot in the leg when she was walking outside of a corner store because she got caught in a crossfire. Judelli not only completed the 5K, but her mother decided to run in the race side by side with her. Judelli told me that this was the first time in her life where she really felt like she was not alone. Judelli was so excited that her mom was able to come and run with her, and it was so beautiful getting to see the two of them so proud of each other and just so happy to be there. The Monday after the race, the girls wore their medals to school. All day they walked proudly down the hallway showing everyone, their teachers, their friends, the administrators, the lunch ladies, the noontime aides, you name it, everyone in that building knew that they had accomplished this race. As I watched them from afar, I was full of gratitude to be a part of a program that I saw really make a positive impact and clearly shaping their lives. It was not just in the school hallways where I saw this affecting them, but it was at home and it was the way that they were behaving in the neighborhood as well. Now that I have witnessed the incredible impact that programs like Girls on the Run can have on our city's youth, I cannot stress enough the importance of these sports-based youth development programs. As a city, we must support such programs because they are providing the critical skills and experiences that our youth need to succeed in life. Now, I am very proud to introduce to you today one of our successful youth from Potter Thomas. Judelli Sanchez was a member of Girls on the Run, and she crossed that finish line with her classmates, but only after having faced tragedy, thus making her accomplishment incredibly special. So it's with great pride that I have for you today Judelli Sanchez from North Philadelphia.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Judelli Sanchez, and I just graduated from 8th grade from Potter Thomas Promise Academy. This year, I participated in Girls on the Run program. I joined Girls on the Run because I wanted to do something after school. Before this year, I never had ran before. In the beginning of the season, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. We practiced at school, but it was a lot of hard work, and sometimes I was very tired. Girls on the Run helped me a lot because it gave me something else to do besides staying at home and being scared of every little noise I heard outside. I was scared of noises because 2 years ago, I was walking out of the corner store and I was shot in my leg when I was caught in a crossfire. The bullets are still in my leg. So every little boom I heard scared me, but now I'm not scared of the noises outside. Girls on the Run also helped me with my friends because they were proud of me. and I was able to overcome being shot, and my leg was no longer stopping me from doing anything. I learned that all I need to do is believe in myself, and then I can do anything. Girls on the Run helped me do all that. When the 5K began, it was very challenging because my legs started to hurt. But when I finished, I felt excited. Even though I'd been shot 2 years ago, this race allowed me to get up and believe in myself again. I was able to achieve my dream and also be happy because I thought my mom wasn't going to be able to be there with me. The 5K race was the first time that I didn't feel alone without my mom being there. I was also excited that she did it with me. Girls on the Run is a great program. It shows that you can do stuff that you never thought you could do, and teaches you that you can believe in yourself and anything is possible.
That's just one, but an amazing one, story of how this work impacts our kids. Judeli, thank you so much for being here. Ariel, thank you so much. We're going to turn it to our third fearless leader. We had Otis, we had David Montgomery, and now Mike D. They were the co-chairs of the task force. We're going to let Mike D. bring us to the finish line. Almost. I have to say one more thing when you're done.
Good morning, everybody. Judeli, thank you for your courage and sharing your story with us. It's really a pleasure and an honor to have you here with us today. Let's hear it again for Judeli. I want to congratulate and thank my co-chairs, Dave Montgomery and Otis Hackney, for their stellar work in co-chairing this journey to the Game On Philly initiative here. So thank you. And Beth, I don't think we'd be here without your work, your commitment, your smarts, and your drive. So thank you for your leadership. And again, a necessary thank you to the Harris Family Foundation for your wonderful support. Again, we wouldn't be here without your support. I'm going to be very quick. If you've picked up a baseball, or if you've snagged a line drive, if you've hit a long jump shot, if you've broke a tackle and ran for a touchdown, you know what the data tells us, what all the studies and all the data tells us. That if you're involved in sports, you got a shot of success. You got a shot of doing better in school. You have a shot at a career. You build your self-esteem and you become a better citizen. I mean, it's that simple. So we believe in the managing director's office, and we have a lot of the departments who will be really part of this initiative, that when you couple this initiative with what we're doing with universal pre-K, what the mayor has done with universal pre-K, what we're doing with out-of-school time and early literacy, and what we're trying to do with workforce, we are at a moment of opportunity in this city that I've been around for like 30 or 40 years in government. We have never been at this point a promise and opportunity for the city of Philadelphia. I know we're harder on ourselves than anybody else is. We like the underdog position, but we are the favorites to succeed. We have the commitment. We have the people in this room, the nonprofits. We have the sports organizations. We have our professional sports teams. We have the political commitment from the mayor. And we have the collaborative spirit and the civic engagement that's necessary to do this. I am honored to be part of this and look forward to launching this program and having early success. Thank you very much.
Can you tee that up? Okay, so what now, right? First thing is we're going to ask everybody in this room to start using the phrase Game On Philly, because that's what we're calling this 5-year initiative. You will see 900 strong, maybe 1,000 strong tonight at the Phillies game. We're going down there to watch the Phillies take Game 3 of the Yankees series. But obviously, we need some support to get this work done, and something that we put together with the help of our professional sports teams is something called a Prizeo campaign, which is a sweepstakes. It's kind of like crowdfunding. And what this sweepstakes is, for $10, you get a chance, or 100 chances, or something crazy like that, in probably the best single grand prize of any sweepstakes that I've seen if you are a sports fan. You get a VIP experience in every single stadium or arena here in the city, with the Phillies, with the Flyers, with the Eagles, with the Sixers, with the Union. You get a VIP experience with each of those teams. We need to spread that word like wildfire, because we want this thing to go nuts so that we can raise the money to launch a whole lot of initiatives come fall. We're working behind the scenes to align all the partners to get this work done. We need your help, your social media help. If you don't do social media, heck, join. But let's get Game On Philly to catch some fire so that we can support this work. If you are interested in getting something started in your community, call us. If you're interested in supporting us because you work at a foundation or a corporation that would like to get behind us, call us. We are welcoming teams, more teams to the lineup. We have a lot on the lineup, but we want more because that's the way we're going to be able to impact every single kid in Philly. We're going to close, but I have to say thank you to NBC Sports Philadelphia, who put one of the most amazing guys on this project and put together a video for us that kind of captures our sentiment and tells a little bit of our story. We're going to close with that video, but thank you to NBC Sports Philadelphia for producing this, for putting it together. We're going to play it tonight in the ballpark. If you're in the room and you're going to the game, we'll see you there, because I know we have a lot of the kids going to the game tonight. If not, watch for us on TV, but let's start that fire and Game On Philly.
We're Philadelphia. We can't even imagine life without sports. We're a sports-crazed city, and we love every hard-hitting, net-splitting, nerve-wracking minute of it. So it's kind of hard to imagine that there are kids in Philly who don't get to play, kids who don't have sports at school, or at their playgrounds, or in their neighborhoods. How does that happen in a city like ours?
Without sports, I wouldn't have the opportunity to try to make the world a better place.
I wouldn't have got my college degree.
I wouldn't have such a great platform to affect the community.
The Philadelphia Youth Sports Collaborative is going to change all that. PYSC and our partners won't stop until every child in Philadelphia has access to quality sports-based programs to help our kids gain confidence, be healthy, and stay in school.
Because of sports, I am a better person, better player. Sports have opened a lot of doors for a lot of people.
As a mom, it's good to have my kids play sports because I want my daughters to have an opportunity to grow as young ladies.
When I first came here from Jamaica, it was hard for me to make friends. I got along with others by playing soccer.
Learning how to lose is just as beneficial as learning how to win because both are a pathway to success.
Every child, regardless of race, gender, and zip code, will get the chance to say,
Game on.
Game on.
Juegamos. Game on.
So game on, Philly. Get involved. Help PYSC bring quality sports-based youth development programs to every kid.
Game on, Philly.
Game on, Philly.
Game on, Philly.
To find out more and enter the biggest and best Philadelphia sports sweepstakes ever, visit www.gameonphilly.com.
Game on, Philly.
Game on, Philly.
Game on, Philly.
Game on, Philly. We're Philadelphia. We can't even imagine.
I should close. So we're officially closed. Thank you for coming.